Hey, good day everyone. We'll be discussing shear and moment diagram for today. So before we discuss shear moment and the shear moment diagram itself, we need to know what internal forces is. Okay? So internal forces na encounter na natin to usually sa truss. Okay? So as I said kanina, na-encounter natin yung truss na-encounter natin sa truss yung internal forces. Okay? So, if you remember, itong sa figure 7.1 and 7.2, dyan natin encounter yung internal forces. Nagkataon lang sa trusses is if nagkakat tayo, if you remember, kakat tayo like sa method of sections, is yung internal forces na kinoconsider lang natin is yung axial. Ibig sabihin yung along dun sa member. Okay? Pero technically speaking, lahat ng body or lahat ng structures, if we are to get the internal forces, tatlo ang nararamdaman niya. So dito papasok yung nasa baba, yung figure 7.3. So in this case, this is a frame. Okay? Frames po to. So mapapansin nyo if yung nag-internal forces na siya sa figure C, okay? Sa figure C po, meron siyang tatlong ginamit, which is yung shear force, normal force, yung F dyan, and yung moment. Kasi laging tatlo ang nararamdaman ng body kapag nagkakat tayo. Again, for internal forces. So, ang internal forces, bakit siya kinukuha? Para malaman natin each part ng body kung ano yung nararamdaman niya. Kasi, if ever you encounter another force, kumbaga, each force na meron yung body, mag-iiba ang shear force, normal force, and moment na mararamdaman niya. So, yun yung purpose ng pagkuha natin ng internal forces. Okay, so yun lang muna naman yung idea. And if you can see, sa internal forces, kapag nag-cut tayo, for example, in this part, and in this part, remember na kung ito ay going away, dapat yung sa kabilang counterpart niya is going away pa rin. Baga nagiging opposite yung direction nila. And of course, the magnitude would be still the same. Okay, so, yun nga, in-introduce ko lang naman yung internal forces which is gagamitin kasi talaga natin sa shear moment, shear and moment and shear moment diagrams. So again, hindi lang naman sa frames, hindi lang sa trusses, including beams. Kahit anong structures magagamit natin or gagamitin natin, pwede natin gamitin yung internal forces. So here you can see, yun nga, dito we have yung F, sa kabila is negative F. Mapapansin nyo that kapag nag-cut kayo, so for example nga, itong nasa figure A, kinat natin. So either way, pwedeng yung left or pwedeng yung right, may consider nyo to get the internal forces. Walang problema yon. Pagdating dito, yung shear, normal force, and moment is assumption naman tayo ng direction yan. And of course, depende kung saan kayo nag-assume, walang problema yon. Just remember, kapag yung kabila naman yung inintindi nyo, is naka-negative or naka-opposite direction lang naman lagi sila. So, kaya mapapansin po natin dyan, negative F, negative M, and negative V. Okay? So, the notions lang naman yan is yung V is shear, M, of course, moment, and F is normal force. Or pwede rin naman N yung ginagamit dyan. So, depende sa reference natin yan. So, here nga, mag-start na tayo sa beams. So, shear, bending, and shear bending moment diagrams. So, dun sa beams, dun lang natin man i-consider yung shear and moment diagram. Okay. So, in beams naman, we remember na maraming types of loading na pwedeng maramdaman or types of support na pwedeng magkaroon yung beams. Bakit natin kailangan malaman yun? Of course, yung external forces, yun yung makaka-affect dun sa shear and moment na mararamdaman ng beams internally. Okay? So, typically, beams are long, straight, prismatic bars nga. And bakit natin inaalam yung loads na mararamdaman internally? So, we need to identify nga yung shear forces and bending moment created by the loads and choosing the cross-section ideally suited to withstand shear forces and bending decided in the first part. So, yun nga, para malaman natin kung saan part yung pinakamalaking shear na mararamdaman ng beam. Okay? Yung beam and yung pinakamalaking bending. Okay? So, here, makikita nyo, we have a figure here. As I said kanina, meron tayong various loads na nararamdaman, which is concentrated loads and distributed loads. Magkaiba po sila pagdating sa shear and moment, okay, shear and moment, and including shear and moment diagrams. Kasi hindi po natin sila simply ginagawang concentrated lang, yung distributed. Iba yung effect ng concentrated loads sa distributed loads. Okay? Kasi if ever concentrated load siya, mas madali siyang gawin kasi nga mostly it would affect the shear lang naman. Pero kasi the shear and moment naman. Pero pagdating sa concentrated, it's fairly easier to understand kung ano yung makukuha mong sagot and mas madali siyang intindihin compared to sa distributed load. And of course, ang distributed loads, marami po yan. So we have uniformly distributed, uniformly varying loads, and varying loads. Okay, so of course, ang concentrated loads, units niyan is express lang naman sa forces or loads, whereas that is newtons, pounds, kilonewtons, kips, and then of course we have sa distributed loads, we have of course naka-function na siya with distance. Okay, again mahalaga kasi kapag malaman na kapag distributed loads yung gamit natin is naka-function na siya ng distance, which is magiging effect, magkakaroon ng malaking effect pagdating sa shear and moment natin. So again, various supports ang meron tayo. So we have here a simply supported beam, overhanging beam, and cantilever beam. So yan yung general idea lang naman na meron tayong pwedeng ma-encounter pagdating sa beams. Ngayon, generally, we have determinate and indeterminate beams. Yung determinate beams is enough, ibig sabihin, enough yung equations natin or static equations natin to solve kung ano yung nararamdaman ng beam. Okay? Pero pagdating po kasi sa indeterminate, okay, statically indeterminate beams, kukulangin na yung static equations natin. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kailangan na natin ng ibang properties na meron yung beam para makuha yung mga unknowns dyan. Okay? So, hindi naman natin may-encounter sa statics sa ngayon yung indeterminate beams. So, possibly pwede nyo may-encounter yan sa strength of materials or sa structures itself. Ngayon, mag-focus tayo of course dun sa statically determinate beams. Okay, so again, para tayong gagamit ng method of sections. So, if we consider a cantilever beam na meron tayong P1 and P2, we will cut or pinapahanap sa atin yung internal loadings dun sa point B. Okay, sa point B. So, imaginary, magkakat tayo, of course, sa point B. Okay, kasi specified naman na pinapahanap sa atin is yung internal loading sa point B. So, in this case, dahil specify naman kung saan tayo mag-cut na tayo sa point B itself. So, as you can see here, dahil cantilever tayo and fixed ang point A natin, it should have a concentrated loads na reactions. Okay? Kailangan po natin malaman kung ano yung reactions niya. So, in this case, of course, we have AY, AX, and MA. And all of this naman sa reactions natin, or support reactions natin, is assumptions yan. Okay, assumptions po yan. So, pagdating sa point B, still, yung internal loadings na meron tayo, all of this is still assumptions. Okay? So, sa point B, you have VB, NB, and MB. So, of course, yung sa kabilang half na pinutol natin, again, you may start sa A, or you may start dun sa P2. Ibig sabihin, pag nagkakat tayo, pwede tayong palaging pumili kung left or right yung ating gagamitin. Wala pong problema yun. Parehas dapat ang mararamdaman nila. Just remember na yung assumptions nyo, if mag-negative, ibig sabihin, baliktad yung directions na assumption natin. Okay? So, kaya pagdating dito sa right side, is nakabaliktad yung direction ng MB as compared dito, NB as compared sa left, and yung VB compared sa left. So, ganun naman lagi kapag assumptions natin. So, going back, mapapansin nyo guys, we have of course yung sabi ko nga, NB for normal force, V for shear force, and M for bending moment. Bakit natin inaalam yung tatlong to? General idea is first, normal force. Kailangan natin malaman yung force na nararamdaman ng body actually. Okay? Para malaman natin kung magko-compress or mag-elongate yung body. Alam ko na pagdating sa statics of rigid bodies, hindi natin inaalam kung gaano kalaki yung ine-elongate or kung hindi nga kasi dapat gumagalaw sa statics of rigid bodies. Ngayon yung force nga, yung ating kino-consider dito, kung gaano kalaki yung force na nararamdaman niya for normal force. Again, yung sasabihin ko in this part is parang purpose kung bakit natin kinukuha yung mga forces na yan. Okay? So again, ulitin ko. Yung normal force, inaalam natin para malaman natin kung yung forces na meron tayo is makakapag-elongate or makakapag-compress ng body. Pero again, hindi naman natin kino-consider pa yung mismong length or yung effect or yung deformation itself. Naalam lang natin kung gaano kalaki yung force na meron. Pagdating sa shear force, ang idea naman sa shear force is parang sa shears. So ano ba ang shears? 'Di ba, ang shears is also another word for scissors. So parang ang essence ni shear force is kung mapuputol niya yung body, kung gaano kalaki yung force na nakakapagpaputol ng mismong body. Yun yung idea. Kaya shear force is yung tangent dun sa cross-section. Okay? Then of course, couple moment is also referred to a bending moment. So, general idea is para malaman natin kung gaano kalaki yung magiging bending dahil dun sa bending moment at this particular point. Okay? Iba-iba kasi pwedeng maging bending moment sa kada point ng body. So, yun yung idea ng tatlong yan. Okay? So, of course, yung directions ng tatlong yan or yung equations na pwede natin gamitin is of course for summation forces y is yung shear force, shear force. Summation forces x is yung normal force, and summation moment is yung sa bending moment. Okay, so yun naman yung, again, dun pa rin tayo maglalaro. Kaya dapat natin master yung tatlong equations na yun. Summation forces x and y, tsaka summation moment. So here, another pointers to know is we have a certain convention pagdating sa positive and negative shear and bending. Okay? Ibig sabihin, this is a general idea pagdating sa engineering na kapag you have a positive shear, okay? Pag positive shear, tinutukoy po dyan is yung left part ng body mo is pataas, yung right part ng body mo is pababa. So kapag sinabi namang negative shear, baliktad lang. Then another is yung positive bending. Pag positive bending, yung nasa taas mo is magko-compress, yung nasa baba mo is mag-elongate. Okay? So, yun yung positive bending. Parang magkakaroon ka ng letter U. Yun yung idea pag positive bending. Of course, pag negative bending, parang letter N naman. So, bakit? Inaalam yan kasi nga, there are sometimes references na sinasabi lang kung ano yung, kung for example, nagkakaroon ng positive bending, ibig sabihin, alam mo na kung ano yung magiging direction. Okay? So, nakalagay din naman dyan yung nakabulet. Basahin nyo lang if you want. So, ito rin naman yung idea kanina. Nakaseparate lang if ever sa ibang parts ng beam natin. Okay? So, yung positive shear, positive normal force, and positive moment. Same idea naman sa kanina. So, in this part naman, sa procedure of analysis, you may pause the video if you want. Basahin nyo na lang din parang kung ano yung pointers na pwede nyo sundan kapag kukuha na tayo ng shear and bending. Okay? Kung which part man. Just remember na lagi tayong mag-i-start sa pagkuha ng reactions. Okay? So, basahin nyo lang if you want on your own time. So, let's start dun sa example para mas maintindihan natin yung mga sabi ko kanina. So, determine the normal force, shear force, and bending moment acting just left, point B, and just right, point C of the 6 kilonewton force on the beam. So, na-specify naman sa atin na parang yung mismong katabi, before and after nung force na meron. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, nearest dun sa point natin sa 3 meters, before and after. Okay? So, of course, firstly, gawin natin FBD natin. So, FBD natin, dahil meron tayong roller sa A and pin sa D, ito yung reactions niya. Then, of course, kunin natin yung isang reaction na madali, which is AY. So, AY, kunin natin. How to get it? Of course, mag-summation moment tayo sa point D para mawala si dy dx. Then, so okay, summation forces summation moment at point D is equal to 0. So, magkakaroon tayong AY na hinahanap nga natin in 9 meters, 6 meters na negative, and 9 meters na negative kasi counterclockwise yung 9 kilonewtons natin na binigay. Okay, so of course, we will have in AY na 5 kilonewtons. Hindi ko na-explain yan. Marunong na dapat kayo niyan. Ngayon, sir, bakit hindi na kinuha si dy dx? Kasi, pinili natin dito sa reference, or in this case, pinili natin na kunin yung body, or kunin yung normal force, shear force, and bending moment from the left side. Ibig sabihin, we will cut here. So, magkakat tayo here and here, which is galing tayo sa A. So, ibig sabihin, ito na yung consider natin, papunta tayo sa right. So, kahit di na natin kunin si dy and dx. If ever manggagaling ka kay point D, kailangan mo alamin si dy and dx. Again, pwede kayo mag-start from left or from right, basta dun sa mga dulo ng beam. So, again, we have here yung free body diagram. Pinutol na natin siya at point B. Ibig sabihin, the point na wala pa yung 6 meters. 6 kilonewtons. Kasi, sinabi kanina na before nung 6 kilonewtons, yung point B. So, ibig sabihin, ang matitira is yung 5 kilonewtons lang. So, of course, to get all of these, yung unahin natin yung pinakamadali, which is yung summation forces X and yung normal force B, kasi wala naman tayong forces along B, horizontally, di ba? So, magkakaroon tayo ng NB na 0. Then, we have summation forces Y. We have, of course, yung 5 kilonewtons na pataas and assumption natin na VB pababa. So, magkakaroon tayong VB na is equal to 5 kilonewtons. Then, MB naman, of course, we have yung 5 kilonewtons na counterclockwise times 3 meters, then minus MB. Kasi counterclockwise yung MB, sorry. Yung 5 kilonewtons pala is clockwise. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng MB na 15 kilonewtons. So, ito na yung sagot sa tatlo. So, yun yung point B natin. Okay? Ito, tsaka ito. Yun yung tatlong answer natin sa point B. Kasi yun yung pinapahanap, di ba? Isa sa pinapahanap. Ngayon, dun tayo kay point C. So, kay point C, sinabi kanina na just right after nung 6 kilonewtons. Sabihin, sinama mo lang talaga sa 6 kilonewtons. Still, you will be using yung 3 meters. Okay? So, we have here summation forces X, di naman magbabago. So, C is equal to 0. Summation forces Y is equal to 0. We have here, of course, yung 5 kilonewtons na pataas. Then, pababang 6 kilonewtons. And, of course, yung VC na hinahanap natin. So, we have a VC na negative 1. Then, summation moment tayo kay point C. 5 kilonewtons times 3 minus MC. Wala namang pinagbago dahil pagdating right after ng point C, dun pa rin yung point na 6, nandun pa rin tayo dun sa point na 6 kilonewtons. Okay, so hindi pa rin siya kasama. So ngayon, we have of course same na MC yan, typo, is equal to 15 kilonewtons. And of course, indicated lang na yung VC natin is negative 1, ibig sabihin, baliktad yung assumption natin. Ibig sabihin, pataas siya. Okay? So ngayon guys, mapapansin nyo na usually, kung saan tayo nagka-cut. So in this case, here and here, kung saan kayo nagka-cut, dun po tayo lagi nagmo-moment. Okay? Bakit? Para ma-cancel na agad yung VB. Yung shear force na meron kasi doon nararamdaman yung shear force. So might as well, doon na rin tayo lagi magmo-moment para matanggal ng isang unknown. Okay? Kasi yung isang unknown naman is MC. Diba? Kasi pag nag-moment ka kay point A, meron kang VC and MC or gagamitin mo pa yung VC in a way. So, kailangan pa minsan kunin. Okay? So, hindi naman kasi laging makukuha agad si VB or yung mga shear forces. Kaya kadalasan talaga, kapag nagmo-moment kayo, dun sa pinagkatan nyo. Okay, so next example tayo, same naman, determine the normal force, shear force, and bending moment at point C. So dito, distributed load tayo. So dahil distributed load tayo, we need to know, as I said kanina, hindi po natin pwedeng gawing concentrated to pagdating na dun sa pagko-consider ng internal forces. Guys, reminder na kaya tayo yung distributed load na ganito, varying man yan or uniformly distributed, kaya po natin sila ginagawang concentrated loads is to get the reactions. Pero right after that, kailangan na natin siyang ibalik palagi sa pagiging distributed niya. Okay? So, in this case, naka-varying siya. Okay? Uniformly varying yan. So, tinatawag yang uniformly varying load. Okay? If ever narinig nyo yung uniformly varying load, that is a linear force. Okay? Triangle yun. Iba po ang uniformly varying load sa varying load lang. Kasi pag sinabing varying load, medyo general yon. Pwede kang magkaroon ng parabolic or cubic na varying load doon. Okay? So, going back. Meron na tayong itong beam na to. Then, of course, palagi naman, as always sinasabi ko, pwedeng kunin nyo yung reactions. Okay? Pwedeng kunin nyo yung reactions. Or pwedeng pumili na kayo nung ikakat nyo. Okay? So, if ever yung left part, yung ikakat nyo, or ikakat so if ever you have, as I said, you will cut here at point C. So, dahil magkakat ka kay point C, pwedeng left side or pwedeng right side. Pumili kayo. So, in this case, ang pinili ko is yung right side. Ibig sabihin from C to B. Yun yung pinili ko. So, ngayon, dahil pinili ko si C to B, makakat yung mismong body ko from point B to C. So, ibig sabihin, yung length lang na 1.5 yung i-consider ko. So, ngayon, I need to know yung extent ng load na to, yung taas nito, kasi ito, yung 1 to Newton per meter is yung buong triangle until here. So, ngayon, I need to know yung value dito kasi nga magka-cut tayo. So, of course, using similar triangles, we could get yung value nito. Okay, so I won't be explaining this kasi similar triangles lang naman to and fairly understandable naman dahil nakalahati ng length ng 3 yung 1.5, of course, makakalahati yung 1.2 natin. Pero again, similar triangles yung idea dito. Hindi ko na-explain siya. So we would have 600 Newton per meter dito sa WC. Okay? So, dahil nga nakuha na natin yung 600, pwede natin gawin yung 600 kilonewtons, 600 Newton per meter using yung kabilang part, which is yung CB nga. So ngayon, papasok na dyan na pwede natin siyang gawing concentrated load. Okay? So pwede natin siyang gawing concentrated load. Bakit? Kasi nga, i-concentrate in a way, internal reaction yung VC natin. Diba? Ang internal forces is in a way, internal reaction. Yung reaction ng mismong buong loob ng body dun sa mga forces na meron. So again, kaya natin ginagawang concentrated load, yung mga distributed loads, is to get yung mga reactions. Okay? So in this case, dahil triangular tayo, triangular yan, 1/2 AB. Diba? Or 1/2 base times height. Whereas 1/2, tapos ito yung base, ito yung height. Okay? Then of course, yung pwesto ng ating concentrated load is of course 1/3 from the thick base. So from the thicker part. So kaya tayo nagkaroon ng 1.5. So unahin natin summation forces X kasi may NC pa rin hinahanap. 0 naman. As is kasi wala naman tayong forces along horizontal. Then summation forces Y, we would have yung VC na pataas. Then of course yung pababa na 1/2 600 Newton per meter, then 1.5. So, makukuha naman natin agad si VC. We would have a VC na 450. Then, of course, summation moment at point C. Kasi doon tayo nag-cut, as I said. we would have yung MC natin, MC natin, una yung, then, 1/2, okay, 1/2 uh, height times base as always, and of course, yung distance, perpendicular distance natin is yung 0.5. Okay, so this would be MC, sorry, MC yan. Typo again. So magkakaroon tayo ng negative 225 kN meter. And of course, kung negative yan, ibig sabihin naka counterclockwise po dapat. Ayun. So far guys, karamihan ng ginawa natin is the equation method. Ibig sabihin, gagamit tayo ng summation forces to get the equations or yung values na meron yung shear and bending. Okay, shear and bending moment. So in a way, hindi man naging equation yung hinahanap natin or yung nakukuha natin, this is also known as the equation method. Magagamit nyo po kasi talaga yung equation method once na medyo marami na yung forces na ikina-consider. So mamaya we have a sample for that naman para mas maintindihan natin yung equation method. So again, ang shear bending, dito na tayo sa shear and bending moment diagrams. So dahil we are considering na yung diagrams na meron, and of course, madalas nating gagawin is if we have a body, so simply supported lang to. And meron siyang force sa gitna naman na. Diba? In-indicate naman na L over 2 yung distance from left and right. So, ibig sabihin, nasa gitna na si P. Ngayon, si P natin, okay, dun lang bang gagaling? Yun na yung external load natin eh. So, of course, dun lang bang gagaling yung reactions natin at point A and point B. Okay? If you can see, the disregard naman na yung horizontal force sa A natin. So far, minsan kasi meron talagang force, reference na tinatanggal na kasi zero naman na. And of course, sa beams is shear nga. Shear yung ating iniintindi. Kaya minsan hindi na sinasama. Okay? If ever pinapahanap, please include yung ating forces along horizontal or along X. Nagkataon lang talaga sa reference na to is hindi siya sinama. So going back, dahil nga nasa gitna lang si P, mag-equate lang or mag-equalize lang si RA and RB. Paghahatian lang nila si P. Okay? Ganun lang yung idea. And bakit yan yung aking simpleng ganyan lang yung sinapal natin here? Kasi we just want you to understand na kapag sa shear and bending moments, every moment or every force na meron tayo, magka-cut tayo. Okay, magka-cut tayo. Bakit? Kasi sa shear and bending moment diagram, each moment and each forces na meron makaka-affect dun sa diagram natin. So ibig sabihin, each point na meron tayong introduced force or moment, magka-cut tayo. So in this case, nag-cut siya sa point C. Okay? Nag-cut siya sa point C and point E. Ibig sabihin, pwede kang from A, kasi ito yung first force, kaya siya nag-cut sa C. Then after nung P, nag-cut siya sa E. So, pwede rin naman galing ka kay B. Walang problema yan. Ganun din naman yung essence. Galing ka kay B, so kinat mo sa E. Tapos after ni E, si C kasi meron kang force kay D. Di ba? So, from left to right or right to left, walang kaso yun. Walang problema yun. So, as we remember, yun nga, pagka-cut natin, so in this case, kay A siya nag-cut, from A siya nag-cut, so at A, si point A, dun siya may RA. So, kanat niya na kay point C, of course, kukunin mo si shear and si moment. Kasi yun naman yung pinapahanap natin. Or shear and bending diagram nga, di ba? Shear and bending moment diagram. So, ang gagamitin mo lang dun sa mismong equation is yung shear and bending moment. So, kaya minsan, hindi na nga sinasama si normal force. So, makapansin nyo, kapag kayong shear natin, okay, ito lang siya ha, ito, yung body lang muna na to. Okay? So, naburahin ko muna. So, yung first part lang ng body, so ito, yung AC lang. Yan. So, yung AC lang yung sinasabi dito, which is magkakaroon siya ng shear na positive. Okay? I think this should be negative eh. I think this should be negative. Kaya kasi AC yung kinonsider niya eh. Okay. So this should be negative. And tama lang pala. Sorry, tama pala. Positive P over 2. Then we have yung moment na Px over 2. So bakit? Kasi yung kung saan ka magkakat, okay, guys, please do remember na kung saan ka magkakat, yung buong length na yon is you could treat it as unknown. Okay, you could treat it as an unknown. So kaya ka maglalagay ng x. So balikan ko lang tong figure sa taas para medyo mas malinaw. Bakit siya magiging x? Kasi in this case, yung from point A to point D, itong part na ibabox ko guys, ito. Lahat ng yan, dahil wala siyang difference eh. Ang mangyayari is wala kang force na makakapagpaiba or makakapag-redirect ng shear and bending mo, shear and moment mo, di ba? So in this case, sa buong length nito is hindi magbabago yung shear o hindi rin magbabago yung moment mo. Okay? So in this case, pwedeng ang x yung gamitin mo. Ibig sabihin, any length dito sa buong length na to, pasok yung equation na gagamitin natin. In this case, ito yun. Pasok yung equation. So, if ever pinapahanap yung specific location, ipapasok mo lang yung distance dun sa x. Okay? So, yun yung idea, kaya gumagamit tayo ng x na value sa shear and bending diagram. Okay? So, next would be, yun nga. So, next part is of course, yung kinat mo na after na ng force. After na ng force, kaya sa point E na, di ba? So, in this case, ang i-consider mo dyan is ito naman. So, magkakaroon ka nga of course, ito. So, dito na siya. So, basahin nyo na lang to. So, ayun yung idea naman. Tapos, procedural analysis, again, you may read it on your own time. You may pause the video if you want. Mas madali kasi naman talagang intindihin if naka-example na. Which is yung next part naman, yung example na. So, we have here example number 3. Though the shear and moment diagrams for the beam shown. So, ito muna siya. So, we have a beam here. Okay, so may beam tayo na may uniformly varying load, which is 6 kN per meter and 9 tayong distance 9 meters tayong distance for the beam. Ngayon, cut natin si beam. Yung pag-cut natin kay beam is again, unknown natin. Hindi natin alam kahit saan tayo pwedeng mag-cut. So, pwede kang mag-cut here, pwede kang mag-cut here. So, dahil nga medyo unknown kung saan ka pwede mag-cut, kasi kahit saan pwede kang mag-cut, kasi wala naman ng ibang load na mararamdaman or nararamdaman yung body kundi yung uniformly distributed, kahit saan pwede kang mag-cut. So, ang mangyayari niyan is of course, kunin muna natin yung reactions. So, paano natin kukunin yung reactions? Yun, sabi ko kanina, kailangan natin muna kunin reactions bago tayo mag-cut. Okay? So, kunin natin si reactions. Nagkataon lang, dinretso na namin. Okay? So, paano ito kinuha? I think, naman, i-concentrate mo yung load na to. So, 1/2 9 times 6. Diba? So, tapos, ilalagay mo siya sa 2/3 from from the pin or 1/3 from the roller. Okay, then kukunin mo of course yung summation moment, then summation forces y. So magkakaroon ka ng R1 na 9 kilonewtons and R2 na 18 kilonewtons. Again, hindi ko na pinakita. We assume na dapat marunong na kayo kumuha ng reactions. Okay? So dito yung R1, dito yung R2. Bakit parehas kinuha? Kasi nakadepende nga sa inyo kung saan nyo gustong gamitin. Pwedeng left part or right part. Walang problema yun. So, in my case, ginamit ko yung left part. Which is, ang gagamitin ko is yung 9 kilonewtons. So, meron ka 9 kilonewtons here. Then, of course, as I said, dahil pag nag-cut ka nyan from R1, so sabihin natin 1 yan, ito yung 2. From nag-point ka kay 1, nag-cut ka kay 1, galing siya sa corner ng triangle. So, mas madali nga naman. So, meron kang ito. Ba, yung triangle na to. So, ngayon, to get the distributed loads, kailangan natin malaman kung saan tayo pwedeng mag-cut. Or, in this case, W over X, which is 6/9. Kinuha lang natin, ano yung kinuha natin? In a way, kinuha natin yung slope nito. Okay? So, magkakaroon tayo ng 2/3 x. So, si 2/3 x, that is of course yung line. Ito yun. So, 2/3 x kilonewton per meter. So, if ever gagawin mo na siyang concentrated load, babalik at babalik ka. Okay? Again, babalik at babalik ka dun sa equation ng kung ano yung shape. So, in this case, triangle. So, magkakaroon ka ng 1/2 base, yung x yung base, again, kung di mo nga alam yung unknown nga yung cut mo, yung length ng cut mo, so x yan, times yung height. So, nagkataon, ito yung height mo. 2/3, okay, ito yung height eh. Sorry. 2/3 x na yung height natin. Sorry, hindi pala slope yung 2/3. My bad. Yung slope is yung 6/9. Okay, so ngayon, magkakaroon tayo ng 1/2 base times height. So, masisimplify naman to easily. So, magkakaroon ka ng force, okay, force to ha, 1/3 x squared. So, ito yung force. So, kaya mapapansin nyo, yung 1/3 x squared is kilonewtons. Okay? If you can, you always include, again, please always include yung units para mas madaling intindihin. Then, we also know na yung ating distance ng, or position ng ating concentrated load is 1/3 from the thick part. Okay? Medyo marami na akong notes. Yan. So, 1/3 from the thick part. So, ito yung thick part ng triangle. So, ibig sabihin, 1/3 from here, yung ating distance. Kasi nga, again, triangle siya. So, with that, pwede na tayong gumamit ng summation forces Y to get the shear. So, meron tayong 9 kilonewtons, pataas, then yung pababang 1/3 x squared minus V. So, kasi yun yung hinahanap. So, in turn, magkakaroon tayo ng equation na sagot. Dito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, na nagmamatter kung ano yung magiging load. Okay? Kasi if ever ginawa nyo concentrated load talaga, agad yung ginawang concentrated load, nakalimutan yung ikakat pala siya, tapos kinoncentrate nyo lang, mag-iiba yung value ng equation nyo. Okay? So, imagine nyo na lang if ever ginawa nyo siyang concentrated load sa start pa lang. Okay? For example, ginawa nyo siyang concentrated load sa start pa lang. Mawawala sa isip nyo na it is a distributed load. Ibig sabihin, nakabase dun sa distance yung ating load na yon. So, kaya dapat yung binabalik sa pagiging distributed load. Okay? So, again, this is known as the equation method. Kumbaga, ginagamit mo yung equation na makukuha mo siya shear para any point of the body is pwede mong malaman yung shear na meron. Kasi, yung shear natin, in this case, dahil varying load siya, it has a function ng distance. Ibig sabihin, mag-vary yung shear mo dahil sa distance. Okay, so mamaya mapapakita ko siya, mas madali siyang maintindihan kapag may diagram. So, ito muna sa ngayon yung shear equation natin. So, sa moment equation natin, summation moment tayo, so magmo-moment tayo again dun sa pinagkata natin. So, magkakaroon tayo ng 9 kilonewton times x na distance, and of course, yung 1/2 x squared, ito yun. Then, multiplied by x/3, which is the distance or perpendicular distance natin. Then, minus m. Kasi naka-counterclockwise. Sorry, naka-clockwise pala to. My bad. So, type pa naman to, sorry. We have here, of course, yung clockwise na 9, tama naman. Then counterclockwise to, so this would be negative. Sorry, negative to. And this would be positive. This would be also negative. So, ito pala, sorry. Ito lang mali ko dito. So, we have here, we'll have here yung ating moment equation, which is 9x minus x cubed over 9. So, again, naka-equation siya. So, sa ngayon, ito yung equation method natin. Pero, hindi, dahil nga pinapahanap sa atin yung shear and moment diagram, in a way, you will graph it. Diba kung paano ka mag-graph? Nagkataon na yung naka-function ng x, yung x mo is, yun yung horizontal axis mo, yung v and m mo, yun yung magiging y-axis mo. So, pakita natin sa mismong diagram. So, ipa-plot natin yung equations 1 and 2 kaninang nakuha. So, ito sila. So, at point A, so nagkataon at point 0, for example, ito yung shear diagram. Ito yung shear equation mo, di ba? Kapag yung 0 nilagay mo dito sa x mo, which is in this point, ito yan, di ba? So, magkakaroon ka ng 9 na shear. Tama naman. Then, kapag naglagay ka ng value na 9. Okay? Kasi 9 yung overall length, di ba? 9 yung overall length. So, kapag yung 9 nilagay mo dun sa x, you will have a negative 18. Okay? So, ngayon, sir, paano ko po malalaman kung ano yung shape ng line? Kasi in a way, i-connect mo lang naman sila. Malalaman mo, of course, yung shape ng line base, of course, dun sa equation na meron ka. So, dahil ito ay x squared, parabolic yung line. Okay? So, in this case, makita nyo, parabolic yung line. And dahil nga, parabolic yung line, and of course, from positive to negative ka, you will have a point na mag-i-intersect dun sa x-axis mo. Or in this case, magsi-zero yung shear mo. So, paano mo malalaman yung distance na yon? Malalaman mo yung distance na yon kapag etong v, dahil nga alam mo na yung v is mag-zero, papalitan mo lang ng 0 yan. Makukuha mo na si x. Okay? Basic algebra na lang yan. So, ito yon. Magkakaroon ka ng x na equal to square root of 27. So, ito naka-round off kasi ito. Ang square root of 27 is I think 1.19 something. So, kaya ito naka-round off lang. Okay? So, kinuha mo lang siya if ever pinapahanap kung nasaan yung zero shear. Okay? So, next is punta tayo kay moment. So, dahil kay moment, yung nasa equation mo parehas may x, di ba? So, kapag nilagay mo 0 dyan, magsi-zero yung moment. Okay? Then, of course, if you would try naman, lagay mo naman 9 dyan. So, 81 minus 9 cube over 9. So, 81 minus 81 yan. Mangyayari. Dapat, pabalik ulit siya sa 0. Okay? So, guys, mapapansin nyo po na kadalasan, if ever simply supported, babalik at babalik sa 0. From 0 to 0 yung moment diagram. So, mamaya may papakita ko naman. Mas madali siyang explain mamaya. So, ngayon, makikita nyo guys, yung sa graph natin, sir, paano ko malalaman yung shape? Kung nasaan yung point na to. Okay? So, malalaman yung point na to how to get that is, ipapasok nyo yung x na nakuha natin sa zero shear dun sa moment equation. Bakit? Remember guys, sa shear and moment diagram, kung nasan nagsi-zero shear, dun po tayo nagkakaroon ng maximum moment or maximum bending. Okay, again, let me repeat it. At point na meron tayong zero shear, dun po tayo nagkakaroon ng maximum moment. Okay? So, para malaman mo kung anong value ng maximum moment, babalitan mo lang yung moment equation mo ng nakuha mong zero shear position. So, magkakaroon ka ng 18 square root of 3. So, ito yun. Okay? So, ngayon, dahil nga nakita nyo naman na yung function ng equation natin dito is naka-cube, so, ibig sabihin, cubic tong linyang to. Okay? So, yun naman yung itsura niya. Okay? So, I hope you have understand sa ngayon tong sample na to para yung next part is mas maintindihan natin. So, here guys, dito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na kapag ka-simply supported. So, anong ibig sabihin simply supported? Lahat ng supports natin nasa magkabilang dulo, babalik at babalik yung zero, babalik at babalik sa zero yung mga moment natin. So, makikita nyo dyan. Okay? Yan. Tapos, yung shear, iba-iba. Depende yung shear. Yung shear naman, iba-iba. Depende sa nakalagay na load. Okay? So, dito rin guys, papasok yung na-discuss ko naman briefly dun sa natin, sa face-to-face natin. Yung load natin is vertical, yung pagkakasequence na vertical, horizontal, linear. Tapos, wait lang. Pangit yung pagkakasulat ko ng linear. Linear. Straight lang dapat yun eh. Straight. Tapos, parabolic. Then, cubic. So, diretso yan hanggang x to the fourth, etc. Dire-diretso yan. So, ito yung x, naka-value na x squared, x cubed. Ito ay x to the fourth. Sunod-sunod yan, guys. So, ngayon, mahalaga na alam nyo na ito, pag ito binuo nyo, ito rectangle, ito triangle, ito spandrel, okay, parabolic spandrel yan, ito cubic spandrel, so on so forth yan. Okay? So kasi, yun nga, depende kasi sa binigay na load, ini-integrate mo lang talaga siya in a way. So yun yung relationship ng shear and bending moment diagram natin. Okay? So ito lang naman yung general idea or cheat sheet if you can sa magiging itsura dapat ng shape natin. Okay, ng shape ng magiging itsura ng ating body if we have a certain uniformly varying load, distributed load. Yan. So ito ay ano to ha, hindi to straight. Parabolic yan. Ganyan yan. Nagmumukha lang siya straight sa drawing, pero parabolic yan. Curve dapat. So, ngayon guys, yung kanina ginawa natin is equation method. Ibig sabihin, inaalam natin yung positioning, or inaalam natin equation ng each part, ng each cut natin para makuha natin yung value ng mismong shear and moment. Okay? Ngayon, let's try to use a area method. So, si area method, gagamitin mo yung area nung body na meron ka. Okay? Yung area ha, area lagi. Nung force or nung moment na meron ka para malaman mo yung magiging shape or figure ng diagram. So, of course, we will always start to get the reactions. Okay? Kunin natin si reactions A, Y, and D. So, again, I will not explain it further. Marunong naman na kayo nito. Hindi ko na ito babasahin isa-isa para mas mapabilis tayo. So, magkakaroon tayo ng reactions D na 26 kips and AY na 18. Tapos 0 nga si AX. So, mahalaga, I think marunong naman na kayo dyan. Then, dito, ang mahalaga sa area method is mag-i-start. Alam mo kung saan ka mag-i-start. So, i-simplify natin. I-start na lang tayo kay point A. Kasi naka-distributed yung point E eh. Diba? Medyo mas hassle. So, start tayo kay point A. So, kay point A, kunin nyo muna yung internal force after. Okay? After nung 20 kips. Bakit? Kasi in this part naman, alam na nating 18 yan. Aakit siya ng 18 eh. Okay? In a way, guys, sa area method ng shear moment diagram, susundan mo yung directions ng arrows mismo ng mga external load mo. Okay? Including, of course, yung support reactions kasi considered as external loads yung support reactions. So, diretso ko na dito sa figure para mas madaling intindihin. So, yun nga, sa point A, you have a RA na 18 kips. So, ibig sabihin, aakyat ka from 0 ng 18 kips. Okay? So, as 18 kips, mararamdaman mo siya hanggang dun sa point ng 20. Tama? Sabi ko nga kanina, naglalagay ka ng diagram hanggang dun sa point na magkakaroon ka ng panibagong force. So, in this case, meron kang 18, okay, meron kang 18 hanggang pumunta ka sa point ng 20. Okay? Sorry, sumobra lang. Ngayon, ang idea dito is if ever naka-line lang or concentrated load lang, 0 lang yung area in the load diagram. 'Di ba? Kasi wala namang area yung linya eh. 'Di ba? Hindi area ang linya. Length lang siya. So hindi magkakaroon ka hindi ka magkakaroon ng minus sa area ng load diagram. May load diagram kasi. Ito yung load diagram ha. Ulitin ko, ito yung load diagram. Tapos yung sunod niya, shear diagram, tapos moment diagram. Ito yung ginagawa natin muna, yung shear diagram. So we have here again point B. Meron ka nag-minus ka na ng 20 kasi nag-introduce ka na ng 20 kips. So, kaya ka bababa ng 20 from the 18. Okay? So, dahil bababa ka ng 18, ng 20 sa 18, magkakaroon ka ng negative 2. Okay? So, si negative 2, again, negative 2, i-minus mo yung area na meron dahil linya pa rin, wala ka pa ring area, aabutin mo naman yung hanggang kay pababang 12 kips. So, until kay 12 kips, bababa tayo ng 12. So, kaya ka nagkaroon ng negative 14. So, cumulative siya guys ha. Again, cumulative siya. Kaya mahalaga na kung mag-start ka, laging sa dulo. Left or right, walang problema. Basta sa dulo ka mag-start. So, ngayon, next is we have of course yung 14. Tapos, may area ba tayo? Diba? Wala naman tayong area sa dito. Okay? Meron lang tayong 26 kips na pataas. Dito. Wait lang. Ito 14, again, dire-diretso siya hanggang kay reaction D. Tapos yun nga, aangat ka kay reaction D ng 26 skips. Okay. Ayan, then of course, galing kay 26 skips, magkaroon ka nga ng 12, di ba? So, ito yung 12. So, sa 12, magmaminus ka ngayon ng area. Bakit naging area na ngayon? Kasi, distributed load to. Okay? May square ka ng shape or pwede ka na magkaroon ng area. In this case, base times height. Whereas yung base mo is yung 8 feet, height mo is 1.5. So, magkakaroon ka ng 0. Okay? Pero of course, i-connect mo lang siya. Hindi kasi pwedeng diretso na. Okay? So, ayan yung shear diagram mo. Yung color blue na shade, sinishade mo kasi talaga yung part of the body na nasa pagitan ng x-axis mo tsaka ng mga diagrams mo. Sinishade po talaga siya. Okay? So, yun yung shear diagram natin. Ngayon, yung area ng mga shape na to, itong shaded area, is yun yung gagamitin natin kay moment diagram. Kaya mapapakita nyo meron siyang ito. So, papakita ko siya in the next slide. Okay? So, area nga. Okay? So, area. Again, area ng shear diagram. Galing ka ng 0. Okay? Dahil meron kang reaction, as I said kanina. Kung saan ka may reaction, mag-0 yung moment mo. So, in this case, kay point A, meron tayong 0. Then, as I said kanina, area nito. So, meron kang 18 times 6. Ay, 18 times 6, ito siya. 18 times 6 yung length na to. So, magkakaroon kang 108. So, ibig sabihin, from 0, papupunta kay 108. Iko-connect mo lang talaga siya. Then, yun nga. As I said kanina, kung ito ay horizontal, magiging linear yung moment mo. So, mapapansin mo, ganun yung trend niya. Tapos, ito, negative 16. Bakit negative 16? Nasa baba po kasi. Okay? Nasa baba po kasi siya. So, negative 2 times 8. Yun siya. Okay, so negative 2, mahalagang malaman mo kung nasan siya ng posisyon ng shear diagram. So, negative 2 siya times 8, kaya siya negative 16. So, ibig sabihin, yung positive mong 108, babawasan mo ngayon ng negative 16. So, kaya ka nagkaroon ng 92. Okay, sorry, medyo... Okay, then ganun ulit, yung idea, negative 140, saan nanggaling? 14, negative 14 times 10 na length. So, 92, magmaminus ka ngayon ng negative 140, kaya ka nagkaroon ng negative 48. So, again, mapapansin nyo dahil ito ay straight lang, ito ay horizontal, ito magiging linear. So, pansin mo naman yung first three parts dito, dito, at dito, puro siya linear. But, pagdating dun sa galing ka ng linear, magiging parabolic na siya. Okay? Pero same idea applies naman yung 12, yung 12 natin multiplied by 4, hindi pala to 4, this would be 2 ata, I think. Tapos 1 half nga kasi. This would be 8 divided by 1 half. So, kasi ano siya, medyo shinortcut na dito eh. So, dahil triangle yan, 1 half base. So, yung base natin is 8 times 12. Yan. So, 48. So, galing ka ng negative 48 plus 48, magbabalik tayo kay 0. Then, of course, dapat parabolic na siya. So, yun yung idea ng area method. Okay? Again, medyo mas madali siyang intindihin. Ang disadvantage ng area method is kapag may pinapanat, for example, at a certain point, okay, sa gitna ng mga graph natin, kailangan natin gumamit ng trigo para malaman yung value. Not unlike kapag gumamit ka ng equation method, meron ka na kasing mismong equation, i-input mo na lang yung x mismo or yung distance mismo, di ba? Kasi may equation ka na. Yun nga lang yung hirap dito sa area method. Pag pinapahanap pa yung exact value at each point or specific point, yun yung hirap. Okay? So, I hope you have understood yung example na to. So, last example tayo before we end yung topic natin na shear moment and shear and moment diagram. So, meron ka again, same idea applies. Nagkataon lang na ito ay distributed load. Okay, so kukunin mo muna of course yung moment, yung reactions at A at C mo. Meron tayong A at C dito. Hindi ko na po siya i-explain. I think you know how to get the reactions na by this point. So, diretso ko na lang muna habang nag-explain tayo. So, we have here yung at point A, okay? Point A, meron ka reaction nga na 80, so aakyat ka ng 80. So, shear tayo dito ha. So, shear. So, point A, aakyat tayo ng 80. Kasi dahil sa reaction. Okay, dahil sa reaction. At point 80 naman, at point 8, sa point A natin na may 80, umakit tayo 80, di ba? Meron tayong, as I said kanina, gagamit tayong area method. So, area ng rectangle. So, ito yon. So, 20 times 6. Diba? 20 times 6 is what? Ano nga ba yun? So, 20 times 6 is 120, di ba? So, magkakaroon tayo negative 40. So, yung negative 40, ito yung point na yun. Ibig sabihin, i-connect mo yung line mo from 80 kilonewtons papunta sa negative 40. Okay, so ayun yung idea. Sa shear pa naman to. Then sa last point nung after na ng point B, ano naman tayo? So same negative 40, galing tayong negative 40, diba? Galing tayong negative 40, papunta tayo hanggang kay point C. So walang nadagdag, so kaya siya dumiretso lang. Then kay point C, tsaka tayo nagkaroon ng reaction na 40 kN. So na-enclose natin yung ating shear diagram. Okay? So ngayon, same idea applies kanina, pero, okay, kasi wala tayong shear diagram, wala tayong equation ng shear diagram natin at point AB, gagamit tayo ngayon ng triangles or trigo para makuha yung x value. Okay? Kung kanina kasi, if ever naka-equation method ka, again, ipapalitan mo lang yung shear equation mo ng 0 para makuha yung x. Nagkataon dito, hindi po natin magagamit kasi wala tayong equation. So, ang pwede natin gamitin is similar triangles or trigonometry nga. So, in this case, may makuha tayong x is equal to 4m. Okay, 4 meters. Ibig sabihin, at point 4 meters from A, dun tayo may zero shear. Okay? So, si zero shear, guys, again, that would be kung saan tayo may maximum moment. So, we have here, of course, yung same idea applies yung area method pa rin. Unahin natin from 0. Okay, from 0 tayo. Kasi may reaction tayo kay A. So, area nito is 80 times 4. Okay, kasi meron kang, again, alam mo yung distance na nakuha natin dito. 1/2 base na 4 times 80, we have 160. So, gaakyat ka ng 160. Then after that, meron kang area again. Okay, meron kang area dito, which is this would be negative 40 times this would be 2. Okay, 2 yung length natin. So 1/2 times 2 is 1 nga naman, kaya naging negative 42. Again, bakit negative 40? Kasi negative or nasa baba tayo. So from 160, mag-minus tayo ng 40. Then, of course, lastly, we have yung 40 times yung length nito. That would be 3, di ba? So, kaya siya nag-negative 120. So, tama naman, from negative 120, balik tayo sa 0. Okay? So, mapapansin nyo guys, hindi man siya masyadong halata. Okay? Hindi man siya masyadong halata. Pero this part, linear na siya. Linear po to. Okay, linear yan. Dapat linear yan kasi galing ka kay horizontal dito. Hindi lang siya mukhang halata kasi galing sa curve tong unang part natin. Galing curve to. Pero to would be linear na. And of course, still, naging tama yung sinabi natin kanina na kung saan ka may zero shear, dun ka may maximum moment. Okay? So, that would end yung ating topic for today na shear bending moment and shear bending moment diagram. So, separate naman, if ever pinapahanap yung shear and moment lang, yung first part, pwede nyo gamitin equation method. Okay? Then, pagka nag-diagram na tayo, pwedeng both, either of the two, depende if hindi naman na-specify. Pero idea itself is nandun na. I hope you have understood kung ano yung discuss natin for today. And good luck for the next assessments, and this would be the last topic natin for statics of rigid bodies. I hope you have understood kung anong meron tayo for the whole semester, and sana idala natin to pagdating sa next subject natin. So, thank you for listening.